Yeah.
All right, let's go ahead and get started. If we could.
Oh, it's a cold
Good morning,
neighborhood.
welcome
Kids?
to the August 2nd, 2017 meeting of the Downtown Lexington Management District. We are passing around a sign-in sheet. If you would please execute where indicated, or if there is no place, go ahead and put your name and your affiliation. We appreciate it.
Hey, Lisa.
Okay, we're going to start on the agenda with item number 2, which is the July 12th, 2017 minutes, which should be in your packet. Everybody had a chance to look at those, review them, memorize them, and summarize them. Anyone have any questions, edits, modifications?
Move we accept.
Hearing none, we have a motion from Larry. Do we have a second? Second by Scott. Any other discussion? All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, Steve, you're up.
Yes, you've got your financials in here through June 1st, 2016, or 2017, sorry. You'll see that the current revenue is $424,000. We've had expenses right at $200,000. The remaining balance of $224,522. You'll see the line item expenses down there in the cell blocks, which are itemized, and there's really not much change than what we've had over the last several months, with our largest expense being our contract by block.
You know, if that went up a little bit from previous months, we voted to add an extra person. Was that what it was?
Yes.
So I'd forgotten, when I got the bill, I was concerned, and so I called him, and they reminded me we did that. So that's why it's gone to 18,887. Yeah. Any other questions about the financials, anybody? Okay. The chair would entertain a motion to approve the treasurer's report. Motion by Tanya. Do I have a second? Second. Second by Jake. Any other discussion? All in favor, please say aye. Aye. Opposed? Okay, old business, but good business. Mr. David.
Good morning, everybody. I just had a couple of things. I went back and checked on the PORS page. I got an estimate. The estimate is for 6 tree wells, the 5 that are on North Broadway, and the one on Upper Street in front of what's that? 112 Upper. It's one of the bigger ones, but it came to a total of $4,800. And I went to Louisville just to get some pictures of some of the ones that they have. Now the pictures that they have, these are ones they installed 5 years ago. And they're still holding good. The trees are doing all right around them. And I talked to Ken Herndon at LDP. He was the one that had started that project. But he said they were a good investment as far as having those. Now, Rob is in contact with Commissioner Dow as far as other options that might come up instead of using it. And he's going to keep me updated, and I'll let him know if anything changes with this. The other thing that I had was, I got my pressure washer.
Oh, good. All right.
Yes, sir. The pressure washer itself was $2,300, and then I had paid $87 for an extended warranty on it. So that was the price of that. The only thing I still need the meter. I was thinking about getting the meter from Louisville, but I figured the city might not appreciate it if I'd be using the water without them being able to charge me.
Gary, can we do anything to help that or not?
I think you can just get them as you need it, like multiple single.
I know when I went there, they were saying-
Schedule a project, you can get a meter for that period of time.
And then at the same time, they were saying that to pay the $1,500 deposit and just keep the meter. Because if I did it that way, I have to keep going back to get it.
Would it help if you just use a water tank and not have to hook on with a fire hydrant?
It would make, I can do that, but then every time the tank got empty, the tank only holds like 125 gallons. So I would have to stop and secure the pressure washer, go back, get water, and it takes 14 minutes to fill it up. So I keep losing time doing that. I figured the meter would be easier, that way I can hook up to a hydrant and just continuously keep doing it without having to stop.
Go ahead. Over there, we ain't finish it up. So wait, it's $1,500, we don't get any kind of exemption, Jay?
I don't know. That's what I was hoping.
You got it?
I figured somebody had some pull in here.
We're pretty tough about that.
So this is not a city, this is a Kentucky American issue, this is not a city issue, is it?
What's the Kentucky, man?
Now, who we get this?
That's where we get our water.
Yeah.
We don't own our water company, remember?
I was not getting all that.
I'm not as smart as
The
Lowell.
permit comes from the city or from, you know, where did it come from?
Hook-ins.
The hook-in.
The hook-in comes from Kentucky American.
From Kentucky
We
American.
we have to have, you know, when we do events, they have to go and get that hook up through them, not us. Yeah. they-
Oh, no.
Yeah.
For those of you who weren't here last meeting, the porous pave, what we're talking about is this material that would go in the tree wells. They use it in Louisville, and David, it makes cleaning the tree wells a lot easier, correct?
It does, and the rocks and stuff won't wash away all the time. And it's becoming a trip hazard in the tree wells where the rocks are. You got that drop off, and it's so close to a lot of businesses where people might come out. And on occasion, there has been a couple of people who are tripped and fallen there.
I'm passing out a little bit more information. I did a little bit of research, and this is from a newsletter got by the Kentucky Department of Forestry about the Louisville, what they did in Louisville, but it's written by somebody who works for Porous Pave. So I'm a little bit skeptical. I was in Ithaca, New York last week and saw a substance on the trees up there, which may have been Porous Pave, I'm not sure, but it looked really, really good. And I was going to contact Louisville and find out what it is, but yeah, I'm definitely open to doing this. It's kind of interesting. It looks like Louisville poured their own. It looks like they bought the substance and did it themselves. Is that right, David?
The Franson group did the first 5, and after that, the city liked it, and then they took over doing it. They started with 5, now they have almost
$100 a tree when they did it themselves, as opposed to it's like $800. But as David mentioned, that one on Upper Street.
And the issue with the tree wells being uneven and creating a trip hazard is a real issue. We have JD Hard from Henry Place Public House. So not only is he a tenant in the management district, but he's also a property owner in the district. And he's had trouble with the tree well outside of his property with his patrons tripping with the uneven surface. So it is, I think, an issue that we need to pay attention to and figure out a solution. And porous pave could be a solution to the uneven tree wells.
And the Franson group also suggested on that, he said that he could even get it to whatever color he would like. He even put UK blue on it. I didn't, but he did.
Purple.
I think everybody's happy.
You know, I might suggest that if we go with this, and if they install it, that maybe if David feels comfortable with this, they sit there and observe and have them, teach them how to do it, so if we decide to expand it, that maybe that's something that they can do themselves. Because I don't think it's rocket science.
Well, I don't know, because I know they have to mix it
Yeah.
right there on site. So you need a mixer, and then for the pour, so it shouldn't be difficult, but I would trust it with somebody in better hands than myself. But it probably wouldn't be hard to learn. Or someone from the city who might like it and they might want it to.
When we had this ice rink down at the Triangle Park, we hired somebody the first year to come in, but they taught a couple people at Lexington Center for them how to do something. They do it now, so saves us quite a bit of money.
I'm open to it.
I would suggest that maybe we do this as a pilot, both from a learning lesson. Broadway's going to see a lot of foot traffic with the event season kicking in, October through the winter. It'd be nice to put something down and test it there, especially in front of the space over on Upper Street. And then, meanwhile, we can look and see if there's other products out there and, see what else is available, but test this out. It's just a pilot, not say that we're committed to doing every tree well, but test this out.
Gary, I'd like to run it by environmental quality, who controls those trees. And I told Dal, the commissioner, I talked to her right after this meeting. But so she, you know, and I sent her that same information. But Kathy, what do you think of that? Do you think they should sign off on it?
Yes.
So, but
I spoke with Dow and Environment. She told me she spoke with them, and she said that they were a little worried that air circulation or water wouldn't get down to it. But David said that's not a problem at all. So
yeah, this
just
article,
let them
that
know.
article I handed out, which I'm sorry you didn't get a copy, that it got some numbers in there about how much water they poured in and it absorbed it really well. But still, yeah, I just sent this to Dal this morning,
Okay.
and so I told her I'd touch base with her later today.
Because it's not a porous product, correct?
Yes, it is.
It is a porous,
It's
yes,
porous,
yes.
yes.
Andrew?
I've got a question, David, about the power washing method and like what's the route. And I know we talked about that business on Main Street right next to the Craft House, how you're doing that, how many times a week now?
Probably 3 times.
So David, he's spending hours every week on one business because they're not doing their part on their own. And it seems like a waste of effort for David and his crew because the one business can't do their part.
Yeah.
What's the business?
It's a law firm.
I forgot the name of it, the law firm.
It's right next to the Craft House.
Is it on Crosby?
Yes.
The one we always
Bill Hurt talked about Crosby?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, it's definitely an eyesore, and we've kind of thrown around the idea of sending the property owner a letter about the issue. Do you all have any other suggestions, or?
Who is the property owner? Them?
They
Unless it's
hired
changed.
someone to come in 1 day a week on Mondays. And this past Monday, I don't even think they came out then. And when he does it on Monday, it doesn't stay clean for long.
So the property owner has hired someone privately to come?
Yeah, he was coming out just once a week on Monday mornings.
Pressure washing?
Yes.
Like those bird spikes work? Yeah. Keep them away?
That's what.
Does it have to be cleaned up all the time?
We
Main
were thinking
Street,
of done
there's
trying
Hotel,
that.
and there's the Craft House, it's the next business to the right of
It's
it.
that ledge up high, right? They just
All
put bird
the way
spikes
up
across
top.
there and keep them away from the nesting.
No, it's on.
I don't know, it just seems like he's spending hours that could be done more evenly throughout this year.
I'm not sure. They might be-
I agree.
It's on the same block.
So is anybody have an objection if we send a letter to the owner of that property and kind of voice our concerns and kind of what Andrew said with regard to time we spending on versus, is that all right with everybody?
Maybe suggestions on prevention. What
Yeah.
You're talking about these bird spikes. If they
Bird
do something.
spikes or something, I don't, David, do you have a,
That's the only thing that I can think of that might prevent it from happening.
Seems odd, no one else has a problem on Main Street except this one.
It's just that one property.
And it's bad when it's not cleaned up, like it's really bad.
We put up bird spikes on our balconies and the birds just build nests around them.
Smart
So we
bird.
better think, not that one.
All right, we'll put together a letter, okay, and send it out to property, and we might run it by you, David, some specifics, but we're 3 times a week you're over there?
Yes.
Okay, that's a lot, you're right, thank you, Andrew, for pointing that out. We would like the government to weigh in on this idea of these tree wells, so would you get back as soon as you can? Let us know what everybody's thinking over there. That'd be okay?
Gary, did you make a motion for a
pilot?
If we did, we think we should discuss the culvert.
I can hold that, until you have more.
What's the board's prerogative? You want to hold it till they weigh in, or you want to make a motion subject to it being?
Subject to.
Subject to, okay, so you want to, that's your motion to do a pilot, which would be the, is it 6?
6 wells at 4,800, is that correct?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so it's at 5 on Broadway and 1 on Upper Street. Yes. That would be my motion.
We have a motion from Gary, do we have a second?
Second.
Okay, second by Steve. Now, and I take it this motion is subject to the approval of whomever, Lexington Urban County Government, I don't know the exact authority who looks in these things.
Yeah,
but
it'd
is
be
that
environmental quality.
environmental quality, so that'd be part of your motion, subject to that approval? Okay,
Okay.
All right.
That's part of my motion.
all right.
I'd like to make an amendment to that motion to add that we make the color something natural, brownish.
Yeah.
We all good with that?
Not
Some kind
not
of
wildcat blue.
Not wildcat blue.
They can have it, the brown, that make it look like mulch.
Yeah.
Or red mulch, whatever color you like.
Is that enough direction? We have the amendment. Is that okay, Gary?
Yes.
All right. We have the motion. We have the amendment. We have a second. Any further discussion? Okay. All in favor, please say aye. Opposed? Okay, you have a pilot. We're going to let them check it out across the street, David. Once we get the thumbs up, then do you move forward? Will you actually do the contacting to orchestrate this?
I can get in touch with Alex if it's okay.
Okay.
And set something up. And
Okay.
then let you know that, I probably let Ms. Catherine know. whether
Please
or
do.
not-
Okay. Now, I'm assuming we're all okay with us putting up this, I mean, we got to have the water. I mean, we got the pressure washer, so we're going to go ahead and just put the $1,500 deposit up. So go ahead and contact them and let me know when you need a check, and I'll send it over to you or whoever, okay? Any other, does the gentleman want to talk, JD?
JD, is this an acceptable solution? Are you,
Sure. I mean, I just raised the issue because I've seen people fall and trip in it. And it's certainly not affecting our business. It's not our customers who are falling. It's created a bottleneck there where you have several hundred people coming and going on a Friday and Saturday night. And then you've got people going north or south between Main Street and Short Street. And then you've got people at the bar that are hanging out, smoking, congregating in front of the bar. So it's creating a bottleneck right there, and part of the time the outside lights aren't working, the street lights are not working right now, so it can be a little dark on that street. It's just a trip hazard, and we've seen people fall, and it's just embarrassing for them.
Mhm.
And I'm afraid somebody's gonna get hurt. And most recently, the city has decided to put 2 bike racks right at the front door also. And who's not for bike racks and trees? But it just seems like that there could be a better placement rather than right in front of a busy bar where you can create bottlenecks and have people bumping into each other, or people trying to avoid the bottleneck and walking out into the street. I just think that the city in their trying to mean well and do well sometimes place things in inappropriate places and creates public safety hazards.
JD, I went over last night and talked to your partner, Dave.
Yeah.
I'm kind of a semi-regular at your place, by the way.
Yeah, I recognize.
Thank you for the local music on Tuesday and Thursday nights.
You're welcome.
But I would talk to Dave, and you're absolutely right about that bike rack. It's poorly placed. I rode my bike last night and put it in a place where potentially somebody couldn't open the door of their car. It's really poorly placed. So I'm going to work on that and work with Andrew and maybe move it a little bit closer to 21C. That tree well is a real hazard. It's very dangerous. We need to get that taken care
We
of.
like the tree, nothing wrong with the
Yeah.
tree, it's just that it was placed in a poor place, and with that rock and being mowed around and having the drop off, like David said, and it's really a female issue. Females walking down the street with heels or any kind of shoes that aren't appropriate for taking a 2 or 3 inch step off, and that's the lady that I witnessed fall about 3 or 4 weeks ago. Was an elderly lady, and she was wearing short little heels and just tripped and fell. It's embarrassing for people, and she was a 21C guest. So it's not my people that are falling. It's just people walking down the street. I haven't walked on it. I don't know. I would hope that you wouldn't have a lady with high heels stuck in it. I mean, I wouldn't want it to be that way. So, sure. I mean, anything's going to be better than what it is now.
so David, in Louisville, landscape's level with the sidewalk, so there's no drop off, so it's completely level.
Yes.
It feels like a track, right? Kind of
Yeah,
the,
exactly.
yeah.
I'm gonna be in Louisville tomorrow. Where can I experience this?
On Main Street, most of them are on Main, and you have a couple on Jefferson.
Okay, I'll be down there.
And by the, what is that, right there, by the Armory Street, right there, Fifth and Liberty.
Definitely. Okay. Good. Thanks.
I've got to leave. I just want to thank the board for taking the issue up and listening to me, and I appreciate it.
Thank you for your interest. Thank you for coming.
Thanks,
Thank you.
JD.
Okay, anything else on that particular subject? Anybody? All right, so David, you're gonna check in, Jake's gonna find out where we are, and make sure when the color comes up, make sure they talk to Jake. I think we all in agreement what we're looking for, so get him, he's our color expert, he's our colorist. Congratulations, Jake. Okay. All right, any other, but let's move on to new business now. We have a presentation from Kate Savage. Kate, you wanna enlighten us?
I promise not to come every single month cap in hand with some new wild art project. Arts Connect has a program that has existed for a couple of years now called Mobile Gallery. And in a nutshell, I take local and regional original artwork into corporate spaces. It's a subscription service, and every 3 months I rotate the art. It's for sale, it's labeled. I do make sales. Both Hilliard Lyons offices subscribe, Gratz Park Inn subscribes, Joe Rosenberg subscribes. I have about 12 subscribers that are corporate, hospitals, that sort of thing. It's a great opportunity for artists to get their artwork out and exposed rather than accumulating in their studios. It's a great opportunity for spaces in businesses, such as that massive wall down there, to be used as a gallery exhibit space. And so I'm suggesting that along the same lines as the exhibit at Triangle Center of Marjorie Guyon's work, that this board consider adopting the mobile gallery program and using it in other vacant storefront spaces, possibly even rotating out the Guyon works that are there currently. There are 10 pieces there to give you some idea. They are prints on aluminum. They are suspended from the strats across the ceiling, and they have clamp-on spotlights. So it's not a terribly sophisticated setup. It would move easily, but on the other hand, it is super effective. I think everybody's noticed it. And from an artist's point of view, it would create like an inside-outside gallery. People who ordinarily would never set foot in a museum or a gallery will get a subliminal experience of art, and also it will help to enhance the mission of this group to make this a more arts-friendly, arts-evident community. So I want to impress you with a quick slideshow that will show you the diversity and the talent that we have. These are all local artists, I stress that, and these are works that I have access to. Every single one, except a couple, are individual artists. A couple I have two pieces of, but most of them are individual. They're all corporate friendly, so no nudes, nothing that's politically controversial. So a lot of flowers and landscapes, but you know, pretty pictures. So I will whiz through, and I hope you'll be impressed. do it right now is I have a large network with these artists, and knowing the spaces that I'm working with, I typically make the selections. With this program, I would suggest that there be a call to artists. Some of these artists work on small canvases, so they wouldn't necessarily exhibit in these large spaces very well. But some of them also do 60 by 60 pieces that are massive, and they just churn them out, and it would really, they would be terrific, like Monica Pipia, Lynn Sweet, I don't know if you know any of these people, but they all work on John Lackey, they all work on big canvases. I would suggest a call to artists, and then a group within this group that would make selections and pick an artist, line them up, and have the year's program established so that if an artist was selected, they would have enough time to get enough pieces together.
Kate, do you have any, have you identified any potential areas this might work other than the existing ones we're using now?
Well, I talked to Catherine yesterday by email, and I think she had a couple of places that she thought might work. One of them was the old Natasha's, is that right, Catherine? Which would be fabulous, those windows are huge. But apparently there's already somebody lined up to go in that space.
Well, I'm not sure. So what I've found, we were thinking like the Meg C jewelry building, and that's already rented out. So I think what the best approach would be, if the board is interested, is to contact certain property owners that we think have vacant space and work with them to coordinate, because a lot of times you'll think a building is vacant or there's nothing going on and there's a plan. So instead of us picking them and then...
Would there be a point to sending out a letter to all the people who are property owners that contribute to this organization, just sort of a blanket letter saying that this program was now being available? Please let us know if you can avail of the service. And that would
That's
get
not a
the
bad
word
idea.
out.
I mean-
That would get the word out, and it would also indicate that you're doing something to enhance the downtown landscape.
It's probably the best way to get the mass information. What we've done in the past is just utilize our own relationships
Right.
with people that we all knew, and I pick up the phone and call Farrah, and that's how we end up doing down there. But I think that's a good idea, Kate.
We could also put it in our DLMD newsletter, and I think that's a good approach, because we want the benefits of the management district have to be equitable among the entire district, so giving everybody the opportunity. And then this really serves two purposes, in the fact that one of our original ideas was to do pop-up shops within the district, so you're giving property owners with vacant space an opportunity to showcase their space, and then you're giving a local artist the opportunity to sell their work, where otherwise they wouldn't be able to afford a first floor downtown space. So I think this is an interesting idea, and one that would be beneficial for what we're trying to do.
I know that artists will be lining up to participate, and this really is a very attractive proposition. Any questions?
Any questions, anybody?
This is more of a comment, kind of gets at what Woodford and I have been talking about where we're going with the kind of future of the downtown management district investing money in art. Me and Woodford will be the first to tell you, we don't have the taste required to be the selection committee by any means. But right now, we've been kind of tasked as the kind of, gate masters before it gets to the main board on some of these ideas. And I think Kate's presentation hits a lot of the points that Woodford and I originally talked about, that we do not want to become the largest collector of artwork in the downtown. We don't want to have storage spaces filled with previous artworks that the board has purchased. This would give more of the ability to actually rotate through art at a low cost. What I think our committee would love is some form of guidance on what this board wants to achieve long-term with regards to art, public art, and this type of installation. Is it, the board's wish that spaces with large public art sculptures-ish? Is it that we want them in windows? Do we want to light up buildings? We kind of need, I think, some form of guidance on what is the board's wishes on the extent of our investment and also what type of investment that will kind of undertake. I think this is absolutely one option, and it's a really good option. We probably don't know what else our options are unless the artists know that we have money to spend. There has to be a way that we can reach out to the entire community and say, you know, I don't know if it's an RFP or what exactly it is, but it's saying, we have this project, we want to light up downtown, we want sculptures downtown, we want X, Y, and Z downtown. Let us hear from you. I think this board needs to figure out what its role is with this type of item. But I think this is exactly the type of idea that certainly Woodford and I kind of originally discussed.
Nick, I've reached out to Louisville and a couple other districts to see if they have guidelines.
Yeah.
So I'm working on that, and I hope to have something for you all to review.
But I think this gets exactly kind of what we're initially thinking, but we would like to have some guidance from you all as well.
I think there's also a meeting Friday morning.
9 o'clock at
Yes.
the public library. Catherine and I are going. It's Graham Poll has put together a group, focus group of some sort. Is that accurate? And you're on it. It's about lighting up downtown.
Right.
I think it's mostly just all about that. Nothing else. Is that right,
It is.
Beverly?
It is.
You want to elaborate any more? Or?
Well, we wanted to run it by you and Catherine and Jeff and Lori before we said too much about it, but downtown at night is really dark. Mill Street between Main and Short is like a cave. It's not much better between Main Street and Short along Limestone. It's dark, there are dark stretches of sidewalk. Not only that, when you're downtown and you look up, there are these big hulking buildings that are dark. Several old bank buildings, First Security, First National, Central Bank, Big Blue. So there have been several of us. We just kind of came together serendipitously at the first of the year. I had been in London and saw some buildings just washed in colored lights. The Bloomsbury Street Hotel. It's stunning. And Graham had been to the Berlin Film Light Festival in October. So I don't know, just some of us came together. Joe Rayborough at the university and the College of Design, who's a lighting specialist. So there were about 8 or 10 of us who've been meeting just to see what's possible, lay the groundwork, had Vincent Lighting Systems down to give us some figures on what some of these things might cost. There can be different levels of this lighting, like festival lighting, which would be relatively easy to do, like the lights over Short Street. Doing something, a step up would lighting the fronts of buildings, lighting architectural features, but essentially, and then the other suggestion, the more complicated and the more expensive would be doing a light festival like they've done in Indianapolis, and they're doing a big one in Cincinnati in October called Blink. And it's the 3D mapping, I don't know if you've seen that. A building, it's not a video like a movie projected. It's the whole front of a building is lighted, and then, I mean, different things happen. It's just incredible, just like with your artist. For example, in Singapore, there's a big building with one of these projections on it, and it's like goldfish swimming across the front of a building. And then as they're swimming, there looks like there are blocks falling out of the building. It's so creative. So the one thought was to possibly do something like that in coordination with the opening of the renovated old courthouse. But we wanted to run it by, like, you and Catherine and Jeff and Lori. Brandy Peacher is there. Adam Hayward from Vincent Lighting is coming down. Just to present what we have found, and do you think that this is an idea that could gain some traction, or some parts of it could? Of course, you know, one of the critical elements is to find funding. And some of these ideas are less expensive. Some could actually be done, I think, by property owners. You know, sometimes people, like your wonderful, the front on your parking garage, you know, nobody really picked up on that idea. But maybe it just needed an advocate to go out and say, you know, this is what can be done, we can help you, this is what the cost is. That's what that meeting is about. I didn't mean to take your time, but there are other people concerned.
I think, pick up what you said, I think we all agree that this is the kind of thing we want to get into. You're looking for direction, that's more than fair to ask that, and I just wanted to interject that that's actually in play also. So there's a number of things, this, that, we all work, you know, it all comes together. But so, what's the board's pleasure? Do we want to, I think, Kate, we all like this idea. I don't think that's an issue for anybody at the table. Correct me if I'm wrong. I think the question is we probably need to get together a letter if we could, because we have the database, it wouldn't take long to do, and just basically blanket everybody, property owner, and ask them for ideas, any property, any dark windows you'd like us to light up, even though it's temporary. You know, we'll just move it from here to there. And I mean, is everybody kind of on board with that conceptually? Does that make sense? And then maybe come back and when we kind of get a couple locations, 2 or 3, and then get Kate back over here and see if we can hone down on specifically what program works best for us. Does that make sense to everybody? But I think we all like it, Kate. I think we want to do it. So I think it's just, yeah, we'll move forward. And then by next meeting, Beverly, we'll have some information on that light thing. We'll put them all together. Good. All right. Thank you, Kate. We appreciate your time and your talents. Okay, I guess we're at the point we have any public comment for items not on the agenda, which I guess we just talked about in a way.
I have a question about the database. How many emails are on it? Do we need to do their job getting more businesses collected?
So Robert Bright, he works in our office, and so Rob has a lot of experience with the Downtown Lexington Corporation's database and newsletter. So he has done a lot with the management district. So he's probably best to answer specifics.
Last time we sent out a postcard to all the property owners. I think maybe like 20 or 25 postcards came back with non-mailable. 150 people have signed up for the e-newsletter. It's an option on the website. It's an option in any of the newsletters. You guys tell anybody about them. We always mention sign up for the newsletter, anything like that. We have everybody's mailing, but you know, as far as signed up for the emails, we don't. Only people that have signed up.
So 150 total in our database.
165.
165. Okay.
What percentage is that?
Small percentage because it's the board and it's also a DLC board too. So,
And then some property owners who have signed up on their own.
And a lot of tenants.
We could do another postcard. We also have Facebook account. It's difficult. I mean, the DLC's distribution list for our Monday Matters and Get Downtown has been years in the making, getting people to sign up.
Anybody has emails?
We can't share the contact information.
Our policy is not to share or put people, our policy is you have to sign up for something that we're gonna send you. We think, you know, if we started bombarding people, they're not gonna look at it and be like, you know, why am I getting this now?
Would there be a way to kind of really put the word out, share the website?
Yeah, We could definitely sign up for the management district newsletter in our e-newsletters, which is a great idea. You know, people are so busy and it takes repetitive attempts to get someone to do something. The postcards are not too cost prohibitive.
And even the e-newsletter, it all depends on if people open it up. I mean, some of you guys don't even open it up, so.
David?
Yes, sir.
Would there be an opportunity with your team to help collect emails and as you're meeting with, you know, business owners, because you are there every day, is there an opportunity to do like a one-time campaign where you're trying to collect emails for the district? Is that a possibility?
We can do that. Try to help get.
We need more emails, we need more people to, you know, talking about it, and if we only have 165, it's not a lot.
And it's not like the database or the newsletter was started. It was only, this is our second or third month, so. Third month, so it's a work in progress. But David, if we printed up something you could hand out while you're.
That's not, try to get back.
It just, people have to see something. I forget the statistics so many times to actually make them act on what you're trying to get them to do.
That's what was on the postcard. It said sign up for e-newsletters, find out what we were doing. It was nothing else other than sign up and our address and everything like that. So they're getting it, they're just not.
So we pass them out a couple of times to the point where they.
And even having the tenants would be great, because the tenants are there more than the property owners.
A lot of the property owners are out.
Out of state, some are in state, some are here and there. And it's the only ones we have connections with that we can get, you know.
And property management groups.
Yes.
Thomas, would we be able to put something in your building urging people to sign up, like a?
I don't see why not. I mean.
Do you have a board, or community board?
Yeah, we try to discourage posting of, you know, extemporaneous things. It can be messy looking. but,
Right.
You know, I've got a list of all the owners. We do have, we're about 70% owner occupied right now, but, you know, there are still some owners that are only here 4 times a year for ball games and things.
Do you have a newsletter you all send out?
We did, we were doing it quarterly. We've kind of stopped that. We're trying to regroup and figure out what we're gonna do about that.
Because maybe we could have something in there, sign up for the management districts.
Yeah. If we had something placed right at the mail area, we have a large mail area, and there's 2 little stands there. Something could be placed there.
Okay.
And even maybe even the blank cards, we could just get people to pick it up, hopefully. You know how that goes.
We could just have postcards, more postcards out.
And I'll put
I know Beverly suggested that too.
And I can put them there and we can do it. That's some sort of giveaway. That helps encourage people.
Yeah.
So.
And we can always put our report of who opens it, who doesn't, who bounces back. We've had, I think, since the 3 newsletters, we've had 4 bounce backs, 2 have left. And then 2 were, I didn't get a response. I emailed them personally. I didn't get a response back.
We'll try some different things to increase the distribution.
We'll get the word out best we can then. But yeah, I would like, if we can collect some more information like that, it would be very helpful. So if you want to forward whatever you can to Catherine, it'd be great. Any other items, any other issues going on with respective residences, businesses, downtown? Heard anything? David?
I had one more thing that I had. Yesterday I was asked to attend a conference where they were doing, they're trying to show me how to do assessments, not the assessment, but how to get in touch with someone who can come and do an assessment as far as helping people with the homeless people and pointing them in the right direction as far as getting housing. It was a lot that went over my head as far as all the acronyms, all the letters they use for this and that. But Miss Jennifer in that homeless prevention place, she said that she'll get with me to show me more about how they do it. But a lot of the people that are down here that are homeless, they've already identified most of them, and others that she asked that I see throughout the day, if I could, they show me how they start a conversation with them or whatever, and see if I can get them pointed over there, because they have a lot of funding for housing that's not being used. So she asked me if I could come there and kind of like represent the LMD.
We're always open for them to come to any of our meetings. I think the more we can hear and know about it, the better off we all are. So it's obviously a problem we're not going to solve here, but I think we need to be aware of it. I don't know what, if people notice an uptick, downtick, or y'all hear anything on the street from any of the merchants or residents? Anybody?
I got a call from one of the bars on Cheapside this week. It said that it looks like a lot of people are congregating in the pavilion. I think things have improved in Phoenix Park, and I think it's probably aggravated the situation over there. So we've asked the police to patrol a little bit more.
I've emailed Polly Reddick, who's the new director of Office of Homelessness Intervention and Prevention, and voiced concerns about the pavilion. She's aware. I'll follow back up with her. But I've heard on several occasions people are camping out, sleeping, moving the chairs, putting 4 chairs in a line and sleeping on them. So it's not a very welcoming look in the morning when you're walking to work.
I usually wake them up in the mornings.
You wake them up in the morning?
I kind of give them a wake up call, right?
That power washer will do it. Let me tell you.
I'll follow back up with Polly and see, what they're doing.
It's a multifunctional.
Yeah, exactly.
Kathy, did we turn the electricity off in the pavilion so they couldn't charge phones and that kind of?
Yes, we try to keep it off, but farmer's market tends to be on, so it's kind of a floating thing, hit and miss. But you can call that 211. That would be your best avenue, is to tell them to call 211. That's that whole homeless center, and they have all the information and all their options, and so if you just want to have them do that, most of them do have cell phones.
Right.
But I have noticed that the panhandling is down. I don't know if anyone else has, but I've noticed that High Street is still really bad, but for the most part.
Yeah, I think it's approved.
If it's down, it's noticeable.
That was in our e-newsletter, just as I went out yesterday, was Lexia.com. So about the panhandling there.
Catherine, I think still, it just can't be said enough that one of the things that would really help is if people would stop encouraging food feeding. That, we've got a place, there are 40 meals a day in Lexington. They do not need to be in our parks or on our plazas feeding anyone.
A lot of those have moved though, have.
They've
They don't feed out.
moved to the Phoenix lot,
Okay.
but that still means that on those days, if I see it, because I make a point to walk around downtown every day, people start collecting in Phoenix Park, in Plaza, now sometimes in the Phoenix lot.
Just
They're
encourage
not
them to
our chronic homeless. They are people who are coming to downtown just for these food services. And I think if we could just discourage that, everyone could get on the same page and realize it's just not necessary, it would really help.
I agree. Jake, is the council still looking
No,
or?
Polly's been working with those people, and a lot of them are just adamant they want to continue. I tried to get the health department to enforce regulations to stop feeding, and it looks like they simply can't do it because they're charitable organizations, and it's pretty complicated, but the health department's not going to do anything about it. So if these people don't agree, and I guess, Charlie knocked himself out on it, and I think Polly's done the best he could. And I absolutely agree, but I just don't think there's anything we can do about it unless these people voluntarily decide not to do it. And I'm sure they've been shown the evidence, but they continue to do it.
I think the narrative to the wider public is what's not
maybe we need to do more.
I think it needs to be more.
But there's a PSA about it. They're putting up signs now also, not to give, you know, sort
Yeah,
of
there's one
permanent
outside my
signs.
shop.
So they're working on it, but I do think they need to do more.
I think it needs to be more in your face.
And I'll check in with that to see where they are.
I've spoken to Polly many times about the homeless, about the feeding, and she had, Lori said, like, they've got her in the back lot, and they've done pretty well with doing that. I live in Park Plaza, so it's gotten better. It's not great, but it's gotten better. But there's like 3 organizations that just won't stop doing it. And they, the homeless board has talked to them many times, so they don't want to listen.
It's just a classic, sometimes the best intentions aren't the best
Right,
ideas.
right.
That's the very simple narrative, I think.
Okay, anything else from anybody? Are we good? Okay, I guess we stand adjourned. Thank you all for coming, appreciate it.